So here's where we were training yesterday. And so we had the sheep over here somewhere on that boundary. And then this is my friend Eamon. And so what he'll do is he'll send his dog out here, and maybe the dog would start to come in here somewhere, and he'd stop him. And then he could send him back out around, to go out around his tree. And then he could actually go over along here, he could cut in, but there's more stuff over here, I'll scrub and things, he could widen him out around, open him out again, to keep him out, to go and get his sheep. And then likewise, you want to send left was a little bit harder because he had to go down here, went through these rushes, and obviously the dog wants to come over this way, but then that's an opportunity to train him. And so he wants to go through the rushes, so we stop him there and ask him to turn his head. We don't ask him to turn his head, wait for him to turn his head, and then bend him back out with a flank out behind this tree, and then that'll bring him around up on this fence line. He'll pick up his sheep nicely here. So that's the way we use these trees. Could be anything, it could be a bunch of scrub, or we even use like these rushes here. They're kind of handy because they want to pull the dog in, so they want to pull the dog in this way. So it's an opportunity for us to stop the dog and teach him to open out. And so what people often say to me, and even trainers and people who give clinics have said to me, Paddy, how can that work? Like, that's great, you've got your trees there, but when you go to a trial, there might be any trees on the course or whatever. And see, that's why it's called dog training. I'm always kind of surprised when people don't get this. We're only using those trees, and actually when we start, it could be in like a half-acre paddock or something, we might be using something like a fish box or a bunch of nettles or anything at all to show the dog to turn his head, to bend out, to be allowed to continue. And so that starts in that half-acre paddock, then it extends out to this bigger course here where we're using the landscape or little bits of rushes or trees or whatever to bend them around. And after a while then the dog knows, if we go on a completely flat course with no obstacles and the dog starts to cut in, we stop him. But the dog knows what's coming next. We want him to open, we want him to bend out again. And so, I mean, they quickly learn, they put it all together. So it's just a series of incremental steps. So it's not really, I don't think it's really pressure as such, but it's more about just getting the dog to choose, and when he chooses correct, he's allowed to continue and get his sheep. And I mean, any dog with half a brain puts that together fairly quick.